Some cards being overlooked by players today are actually pure gold. Everyone loves a good treasure hunt, but you know what's better? Knowing exactly where to dig to get that gold. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks for hanging out with me on the channel today. You know, with all the amazing cards we have to work with in Magic the Gathering now, some of the newest sets that have been coming up have given us amazing cards to work with. Cards I didn't think would be possible back in the day. They almost seem like they should be reserveless when you look back and look at the power levels of some of the cards we had back then and to what Wizards offers us now. But the game's sped up. Things are quicker now. Passing up on some of these amazing cards when new flash and bling hits the market seems to be the recipe of the day. Look here, it's Double Masters. Everyone looks. Look, it's Double Masters 2022, Modern Horizons 2. And everyone takes a look. And there are great cards inside those sets. But every time you look, the new set comes along and you may not have picked up some of the cards you probably should have been targeting back then. Not only for deck construction, but also in case you ever want to trade up to cards later on when some of these cards spike. Green may not be my all-time favorite color, but I know Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is going to go up in value. I knew it had value, and buying it at $8 a copy seems like a steal to me, at least to have a few play sets to watch and see what happens with a card like that. And that's what I'm talking about. You may need a play set of something just to hold on to, but getting an extra couple of copies or buying the right card at the right time can save you a ton of money. When you're looking at the new cards coming out nowadays, look back a couple of sets. See what's out there and has been trending down in value, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at some of these cards you can save a bundle on right now and make it better for yourself later on. Saving a few bucks now means saving a lot more later if that card ever does spike in value. If you've got one of the copies of this card, I wouldn't recommend selling the cards I have on the list today. They're just too good to pass up. So let's get through this. Let's take a look together, and I can't wait to see everyone's comments about what they think of this card. And remember, if you're supporting the channel, give this video a thumbs up. Put some comments in the comments section, and of course, hit that subscribe button. Loving it, guys. Let's get to it. I remember the first time I saw Mana Confluence. I compared it right away to City of Brass, another land that gives you any color but deals damage to you. But adding these two together because they have different names, being able to put both in a commander deck or other types of builds I like to play with, it's an amazing card to have. Who cares about a point of damage if it's allowing you to get the win con you need for your deck? And as eyeballs have turned away, this card has been slipping in price and people are ignoring it. I remember it being the buy a box promo for Commander Legends. What a great box topper card to get and to say, hey, here's your buy a box promo. It was amazing. And then when you go ahead and you start adding that in with Secret Layers, it's only been printed a few times and it seems to bounce back well with the value because it's a card that every player should be picking up. I definitely wouldn't sell the card, and any store who gets the opportunity is always happy to buy it from you. But don't sell it. Keep these cards for your collection. You always need at least 4. Keep the 4 you need. If you happen to get above that, it's great trade, okay? It's great to get around stuff later on. But look at that price right now. We're talking 15 to 20% cheaper than normal. Take advantage of that and enjoy it. Get it while it's cheap. Save yourself a few bucks and wait for other cards 6 months from now to start trending down. What a great card. Now, not just the Torrential Gearhulks on the list today, but when you take a look at the Masterpiece Series Kaladesh Inventions, they've been trending down. People have got new flash, new things catching their eyes, and they are ignoring these amazing pieces of Magic history. When you look at this thing, it's a beast. I remember playing with it during Kaladesh. I didn't have the Invention one, but I remember playing with the Torrential Gearhulk. I look at this and say, you're telling me for $70 odd I can get this and just enjoy the card, have it forever, and I doubt they're ever going to reprint a card like this. They'll reprint the regular versions or maybe a different fancy version, but to actually bring this kind of Kaladesh style invention back, I don't see Wizards doing it. Maybe adding cards to that list, but not actually bringing this back. And just the amount you can have with a card like this lets you know that it's kind of something special, kind of something blingy, and I do still see it being played in Commander. at least in the group I'm with. So it's a lot of fun to have around. Just such a style card. But the trending down value just makes it so affordable. When these things were up to like $200-300 and they've just been drifting down, ignore it. I love whenever I ignore cards because it gives us the opportunity to grab that stuff and hold on to it. Now, Champion's Helm, another amazing card. When I saw this first time, when I was like younger, I thought it was amazing. But seeing it as a Kaladesh invention and realizing this card is not trending down like the Gear Hulk, but it's still very affordable. It's lost a few points and percentages, and I'm keeping a close eye on it. I would love to get myself a full play set just to say I have them. It's an amazing card to have around, guys. When you're putting these in your commander deck, being able to protect your commander who's legendary and keep them safe is just, it's just epic. Unless, of course, you're playing with a planeswalker. But, you know, generally speaking, a lot of legendary creatures. Great card to have around. Make people think twice, and the value is so there for a card like this. You can go way cheaper than this. But I'm thinking cards like this are going to have that real, you know, eye-attracting attention, and then later on are going to retain the value you need if you ever do have to sell it. You're kind of win-win when you look at cards like this. Okay, Expeditions. Now, this has been a little bit of a trend I've seen. Since cards like Sunken Hollow, Cinderglade, a lot of the lower-end original Expeditions have been reprinted over and over the years. And that has dragged down the value. These cards used to be $50, $60, $70. And they just keep getting dragged down. And I mean, I understand. You know, if you don't want to pay for a higher priced card, I understand. But these are the original Expeditions. Okay? These are the ones that they brought out for us back in 2015. Chances are it's never getting repeated. And they're just iconic pieces now of that hidden treasure, priceless treasure, going all the way back to the original Zendikar when they inserted Power 9 cards. You're telling me you can buy these cards for a fraction of what they used to cost? Even if you don't go for like really expensive ones like a Misty Rainforest or something, you can pick one of these up for like $35 US. I think it's $40 Canadian now. It's a steal. And again, people are gonna be like, hey, you have that? You're like, yes, I do. I do have it, and I'm happy to show it off to you. When you're looking to just style out the deck a bit, you can save money by buying a cheaper version of it. But this is kind of that one that's going to be standing out and has the highest chance of retaining value going forward for any collectors, investors out there looking for cards like this. It's just epic stuff. All right, now we're talking the Triumphs. Look at where they've gone. Look what's happening. Streets of New Capenna, totally ignored. Nobody cares. Moved on. Boring. But at the same time, this has got the completion of all the Triumph set. And it shouldn't have been ignored. And all you have to do is look back at Ikoria and see what happened to cards like this. You go for an Ikoria full art foils, they're like 50, 60, 70 bucks. Guys, don't ignore it. These cards are going to go up and down. They are going to be an amazing land cycle to have around. The cycling ability is awesome mid to late game. And being able to get 3 mana, right? Being able to say, oh, I need this color, I need white, or maybe I need blue. I'm just showing the Sparrows one, but all of them are trending down. And this is the time where you really got to pay attention, see if it'll drop even lower, and get yourself that deal you need to complete a playset. Completing a playset for 30, 40 bucks and never worrying about it again, no matter how many times they reprint it, is great. And yes, reprintings will probably happen at some point, and it will drag down the value. But do you really want to wait 4 or 5 more, 3 more years, 2 more, 5 more, 10 more years? However long it takes them to reprint them, chances are you don't. Chances are you want to play with it now, and this is not a bad price to get in at that level. Now, here are some fun cards. I am purposely showing you guys the borderless fancy version. There are cheaper versions, but again, because things have moved on, this card is starting to trend up a bit. I want to make mention of that. But it's a card I'm keeping an eye on because I think it's going to actually start going down again. I think we're going to lose some value on this. As the new sets come out, like Brothers War, Dominaria United start taking the forefront, I expect this card to just drift down a little bit more. And I will try to get myself a playset. Because I think a card like this, I already have a regular playset, but I might go for a fancier one. Because I just think they're going to hold value. It's going to be played for a very long period of time. And when you look at this card up close and you see the amazingness, the fact that none of these lands come into play tapped. You can use them right away. Yes, they're legendary, but they're amazing when I was playing in the pre-release because you could have multiple inside your deck and just start blowing things up, right? Destroying target artifact, enchantment, or a non-basic land is just, oh, it's life-saving. And having cards like this mixed in with other cards makes your commander deck that much more able to deal with issues and problems with the groups you're with. You can deal with some of the problem cards they get out there. Like, blowing up a Tolarian Academy when you least expect it. I know, it happens. And the value. You can go for a cheaper version, but what's the point? Might as well spend an extra 20%, get the fancier versions, and say, yeah, I got the best of the best. I have it now. I don't have to worry about it because it's just gorgeous. Oh, I love these cards. All right, and the same, of course, right? Crucible of Defiance, the Borderless Edition. Are you telling me I can pick this card up for about $6? Seriously? Now, again, doesn't come into play tapped. And I've seen people use this where they actually recycle the card. A person used it against me, started digging it. And it was ridiculous, but they kept putting out these 2/2 creatures over and over and over again. And I had to deal with it eventually, but look at the artwork. Look how much this card costs. Buying 4 for $20, the fancier version, which is harder to get. Oh, man. I don't know what people are thinking, but there's a lot of value being lost right now. And it's great for those people who are looking ahead saying, you know what? I think just buying a playset for $20 is a pretty good deal. Yeah, I think I'll grab that and sit on it. Exactly. Sit on it. That's right. We're still going because these cards should not have been left this cheap. And that's what I'm talking about. The Seat of the Empire, the average is $6.49 US. Look at the artwork on that card. Remember what these cards do. Just like the D&D lands, I love them because they don't have to come into play tapped depending on when and how you play them. And the Seat of the Empire does not come into play tapped. Nobody's going to be able to stop my channel effect. Discarding it and dealing 4 damage target attacking or blocking creature is amazing. And all of these things cost less if you have more legendary creatures. And guess what? Dominaria United's coming up, and we'll be getting a whole whack load of low to mid-level casting cost legendary creatures to mix into decks. It is just going to be something special. And when prices like this, you can't go wrong. Look at the price trending down and enjoy it because this stuff is just disgusting to look at. When I see that stuff, I realize it's just amazing, okay? Great stuff for all of us trying to buy this card. All right, and the last one is Tack Meme, the Abandoned Mire. By far my favorite, actually, after Bozajur Endures. Because when I look at this card, I remember using this all the time in Arena right away. Because I could go and fetch my Planeswalkers. I could do nasty things, okay? So, discarding it, milling 3 cards, and then returning a creature card or Planeswalker card from my graveyard, which already could have been in that graveyard. Doesn't say you have to bring back one of the cards you flipped. You're just flipping 3, and then it can cost less. And this card's $10? The big fancy version is only $10? That's not even a fries, a Coke, and a Big Mac. What are you talking about here? It's nothing. I love it. I love the fact cards like this are so attainable right now. Because when sets like this rotate out, in the next little while, people don't open it anymore. They don't think about it. And then these cards just start to go up in value. They get more expensive. And before you know it, it's a $10, $15, $20 card. And then Wizards eventually has to deal with it and reprint it because more and more people start to use these cards inside decks. Now, our last one, of course, is Otawa, the Soaring City. The card my little mini-mox loves to use against me. This card at one point, guys, was like $30-something, I recall. Look at the price right now. And this is the big, fancy, version of it, okay? The foil is still expensive. Here in Canada, it's going to run you $50. But a full art version for $20 Canadian? Really? $16.48 US? I'm not sure what people were thinking, but this card should not be this cheap. This card should not be ignored. It is amazing to see. Adding that mana, and then you got the channel ability of returning a target artifact, creature, or enchantment, or planeswalker, okay, to its owner's hand. That's yours or mine. I love it. The fact I can use it on opponents for offense or on myself as defense. Cards like this being this cheap, and if you go for a regular Otawa, it's like $7, $8 right now. It's almost right where it started when it first came out. I remember picking up a playset for $4 each that first week because nobody was doing anything with the card. It's not going to stay that way in my estimation. In my opinion, cards like this are not, they're not going to stay that low. They're going to continue to move. They're going to continue to go up after things rotate out. And yeah, we're early. Let's face it, you got another whole year and a bit. But people aren't opening Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. They're moving on. We got Double Masters. When that's done, hey, we're jumping right over Dominaria. Then we got the Brothers War. And then we've got Cowboys and Aliens coming through again. Whole new sets. Before you know it, you can't miss this stuff, guys. You got to keep your eye on the ball. If you have a couple of copies, you're probably fine for any Commander play. I like to go with play sets of 4, and these cards are very attainable right now. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Thanks for chilling on the channel. Hope you had a good time with the content today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Looking forward to reading your comments, and I'll see you tomorrow for another exciting video. Have a great day, everyone. Hey guys, a big shout out to all the fantastic patrons on the channel who make videos like this, guys. You're the ones. You make it possible. Take a bow because you guys are awesome. Patrons rock.